If you follow these tips in the next 10 minutes, your user is going to be 10 times better. Let's get into it. So after forgetting that my mic was muted, we're going to go ahead and redo this. So you guys are going to get to see zone drops when he changes zone drops as well in this game. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it because you're going to see it on the screen. But zone drops, if you're not running match defense, you've got to use them. If you're running match defense or if you're running a quick adjusted inside quarter, which by the way is considered a match defense, then don't run it. Like if you're facing a trip side in player, I don't use zone drops very often. And that's because when you quick adjust to safety into an inside quarter, if you run zone drops, it no longer matches. If you run it without zone drops as everything as a default, then the inside quarter is going to go ahead and match. If you didn't know that, by the way, now you do. The same thing goes for hook curls. Hook curls also have match principles behind them. Vert hooks as well. I don't really understand what vertical hooks match as they do randomly match stuff. And so I'm not going to say they really are match. It just seems like it's kind of random based off some route combinations. But they often play this seems pretty darn good. Now right there, dot. The big thing on your first drive on defense, make it a long drive, boys. Don't make it a minute. Okay, like right now we are about a minute and 2 seconds, minute 3, minute 4, 5. We're going to be about a minute and 10 seconds into the game. And you can see how big of a chunk play he gives up. In fact, he gives up a touchdown. We are a minute and 11 seconds into the game and you give up a touchdown. That is way too fast of a drive for your first defensive drive. You're trying to figure out what they want to do on offense and what their tendencies are. What do they like? What are their reads? Who are they looking for? That's everything. That is literally everything in your first defensive drive that you're trying to learn is everything about your opponent, what they like to do, etc. And once you can figure that out, man, life becomes so much easier. Again, dot. Now that's 42 seconds into the second quarter. Look how fast this drive is. And I know I'm not going to say defense is easy. I'm not going to say that whatsoever. Defense is tough this year, but you've got to make these drives significantly longer than a minute and a half or even 2 minutes. I'm talking like your first drive, make them take like 3+ minutes on their first drive, because then you will know everything about your opponent within those 3 minutes that they like to do on 4th and short, 3rd and short, etc. Yardage plays, chunk plays, short plays, what they like to do, what runs they like to call, hot routes they like to call, etc. Now in verticals, always, oh my word, I'm gonna just scream, always commit to the crosser, okay? Never, ever give up the crosser, ever. I don't care who you are playing. Always take away the crosser. That route is unguardable. There's nothing in the game if they have route tech and deep out elite that will guard that crosser. Always take it away from the user every single time, regardless of what you're looking underneath. You take away that crosser, or you better just uninstall Madden and just say screw defense. Like, whew, okay, now that we got that out of my chest, let's just always guard the crosser, guys. Make the drives long. Make them fight for yards. Don't give up these big chunk plays. The number one responsibility as the user, Madden 22, is take away deep stuff, because there are routes, and that's a very lucky bailout. That's that ball should be going 15 yards behind him. Always take away the chunk plays. Don't rely on just getting a lucky, fluky animation like that, because bailouts aren't what win you games. Now, sometimes we can debate about that. You could debate a wall about that. Sometimes things get crazy, but it's never just fluke after fluke after fluke after fluke after fluke after fluke that's causing you to lose games. It's always something that you can do better. Like right there, that's fluke. But also, important note that I'd like to point out, a lot of players say, hey, escape artist, you need escape artist. You don't. As you start there, Cam Newton does not have escape artist on him. Otherwise, he would not have all these abilities on his. He wouldn't have post-ups. He wouldn't have deep out and route tech all over the place. You don't need escape to be able to outrun and contain this year. It's crazy to think, and you might think I'm crazy for saying that, but you don't. Now, in this case, I'm okay with holding my opponent to 3 because I get ball at half. Now, this obviously was not me. This is Joker Kill. Link in the description for his Twitch channel. He's a pretty consistent streamer compared to some of these other competitive/pro players that stream for the first month and then seem to disappear and never stream again. But you guys get to see zone drops as well in this game. So Now, after just one coaching session, he went on to beat the #1 ranked player in the world. Currently, it is 16 out of 20 spots that are filled, meaning there are 4 more left. If you've been on the fence about it, the Discord is going to be linked below in the description. But let's go ahead and get back into the video. Right there, you can see flats are at default, curl flats are at 5. Going back into DB Fire 2. Now, DB Fire 2 has soft squat. Soft squats, they are a match defense. Okay, they will go vertical if there is no threat to the flat. They will go vertical. So when I'm talking of threat to the flat, so for example, look at bunch right now. If you've got solo receiver on the right side, running back is the #2 receiver in this formation. So if the solo receiver runs vertically, running back runs a table route, that's considered an immediate threat to the flat, making the soft squat sink instead of squat. So it sinks, it plays the flats instead of playing man-to-man against that 10-yard route. Just a little tip right there for you guys. So 1st and 10. He is up 10 points. Joker kill is up 10. Always, good Lord. Oh, my word. I'm just going to, I want to punch somebody in the face right now. Always follow the freaking crosser. Never worry about the running back out route. Ever. Never worry about it. Especially if you man him up. What are you doing on your user right here? You guys, you tell me what the fluff was he doing with his user right there, because I don't know. He was praying that he'd be able to lurk a ball that's going 20 yards behind him. Bad user again. This game should teach you a lot about how to be a better user. Commit to something. That is the #1 thing that you should take away from this game, is if you're going to go ahead and set up a defense, you've got to commit to using what you know you should use. Don't ever worry about a running back check down route when you see a skinny post somewhere else that you know your defense is not going to cover. #1 tip right there. You've got to be aware of where your user needs to be at all times. Every single play. Otherwise, you're going to get left in the dust every single play. Like right here, a crosser. Good user right there. I like that. Now, given he gives up 1st down, but this is where defense can get really stingy and really tough. And if you somehow hold the 3 right here, that's even better. Now, he takes an encroachment penalty because he's going to come out on 3-4 odd. Now, the reason he does this is because he wants a heavier set. You're on the 1-yard line. I'm waiting. I'm not choosing a 3-4 odd. I'm coming out on goal line right here. Goal line 5-3 speed package. I'm definitely not coming out on 3-4 odd because I want to just stop this fullback dive over the top, which is very difficult to do. And the only way you can really do that is you basically reroute them midair and pray that they don't fall forward. That's the only tip I got for you guys, but it's tough. And if you didn't know how you can dive over the line, is you hold X or square depending on your console. You just hold X or square and it leaps over the line and you become untouchable. They don't, for some reason, they don't animate to a fullback that's flying like a ballerina. It's just how it is. So that's the only way you can really stop that, is redirect the route. So right here, it comes out 3-5 wide because obviously in this situation, you don't want to get ran on. Okay, now again, same thing as always. Commit to that crosser. He did not commit to the crosser, and Cliff probably could have threw that again. Very fortunate that that fumble was not in his favor. But again, commit to the crosser, commit to something. Always just be aware of where your weakness is in your defense. Just always pay attention to zone drops, pay attention to what flats you have out there, what hook zones you have out there, and what deep zones you have out there. Now right here, I like to run commit. I run commit there too as well. 2 reasons. One, because it gives, if he goes for a pass, maybe he gets a touchdown. Now I have a lot more time to work with 2 timeouts left to go. I love the run commit. Heck, I'm run committing again right here because I want him to score. I want you to score right here. Scoring touchdown. Scoring touchdown. I almost want to run commit every single time. Now, right there, a really bad user, but it's okay. He gets out of bounds, saves him a timeout. 3rd and goal. 1 timeout left to go. 1:09 on the clock. Run commit. I'm probably, I don't know. Maybe I'm a crackhead for thinking this, but I kind of want to run commit right here. I kind of want to just let him score so I have 1 and 10 seconds, 9 seconds. You get the point. With 1 timeout left, that's a ton of time in Madden 22, especially if you know you've basically been able to, not fortunate not to fumble, you know you've been able to drive every single time you get a score. Right here, run commit, run commit, run commit, run commit. Like, I run commit. Now, this is going to be the final 2 plays of the game. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button before you dip out. And there's a Discord link in the description to get you free access to coaching, weekly live streams, and a lot more. So just check that out. And as always, guys, we will catch you on Thursday. Have a wonderful Wednesday. And we'll see you guys then. Enjoy the last second of this game.